Hi everyone and welcome to this OH-58D Kiowa Warrior add-on for the Arma Reforger. In this video, I'm going to show you the basic features and functionality overview of this aircraft. Let's jump into the cockpit. As you can see, the cockpit layout is fairly simple. It consists of two main displays located on left and right side of the aircraft called multifunction displays. Both of them can be used to interact with aircraft's onboard systems. In the center of the front dash, there are backup instruments, mainly speed indicator, attitude indicator, as well as aircraft's altitude indicator. The aircraft can be started by toggling battery switch to on position. Battery switch is located in the upper console. Let's start the aircraft now. As you can see, both of the MFDS light up, and you can now proceed to set it up from here. Let's now go over the basic functionality of the MFD. Each MFD have 4 main pages, which can be toggled via buttons located at the bottom of the screen. In Arma Reforger currently, there are 3 main pages simulated. First one is called VSD, or Vertical Situation Display, which is currently displayed. It shows crucial data to the pilot during flight. In the center of the page, you can see the digital version of attitude indicator, as well as slip indicator in the lower part of it, and roll indicator in the upper. You can also find the current barometric altitude of the aircraft, current speed in knots, current radar altitude, current vertical speed in the form of triangle traveling up or down, current radar altitude in the form of white rectangular traveling up or down up to 200 feet. But you also have next and previous waypoint buttons on the left side of the screen. Above those buttons, there will be current waypoint data information when we have a flight plan loaded. The next page is Horizontal Situation Display, or HSD, which is basically a top view of the battlefield with current flight plan and the map itself. The extra mode of this page is called HSD+, which is toggled using same HSD button. After activation, it overlays HSD with digital moving map. We can zoom in using R5 button on the bottom right part of the screen. We can also toggle the map mode from center to offset to actually see more in front of our aircraft. On the left side of the screen, we can also see the next waypoint and last waypoint buttons, which work the same way as ones in the VSD. Those buttons basically cycle our flight plan waypoints. There is also waypoint list button, located on the right side, which toggles the waypoints list subpage. Currently, we have no flight plan loaded, so the list is empty. The last page is called MMS, which stands for Mast Mounted Sight, and it displays the camera view from sight located on top of our rotor. But we will go over the functions of this page later. The aircraft also comes with its own configuration tool for inputting navigational data, as well as modifying loadout. We will go over navigational data right now. To access the aircraft manager, just move your camera to the center part of the cockpit, behind player character, and activate the aircraft manager. In this editor, you can add waypoints on the map by double-clicking on the map itself and edit or remove waypoints on the right side of the editor. You can change the order of the flight plan by clicking corresponding buttons in each waypoint in the list. If you are happy with the flight plan, just press OK, and this flight plan is now loaded within the systems of the aircraft itself. You can see it by displaying either the VSD or HSD. In the VSD, you can see the currently selected waypoint data, which is waypoint's name, as well as distance to this waypoint in kilometers. On the HSD, you can actually see the entire flight plan. To cycle the waypoints, you can either press Next or Last Waypoint button. As you can see, the currently selected waypoint changes. Those waypoints will also automatically increment if your aircraft gets close to them. The Aircraft Manager also comes with its own loadout editor. It can be accessed by toggling the Loadout tab. As you can see, this feature requires ammo vehicle to be in close proximity to your aircraft. We will fix it now. After it is done, we can freely edit each pylon loadout. D-addon comes with M260, HE unguided rockets, APKWS laser-guided rockets, DAGR laser-guided rockets, M3M machine gun, and AGM-114 Hellfire missiles. You can mount each weapon on both of the pylons except for M3 machine gun, which can only be mounted on the left pylon. The APKWS weapon is a type of laser-guided weapon which requires laser code to be set before mission. Aircraft Manager allows it by displaying input box after you have loaded the APKWS rockets on either pylon. There will be more information about laser codes in later part of this video. Now we will discuss the MMS usage. After switching to MMS page on our MFD, we can see the view from the camera above the rotor. This camera is used as scouting tool as well as target acquisition source for laser-guided weapons. It can be controlled by both pilot and co-pilot. By default, it can be rotated using numpad keys. To change zoom, press 0 on your numpad. Short pressing 5 on your numpad activates the area stabilization mode, in which camera is easier to use when helicopter is moving. Long pressing 5 on your numpad will reset MMS to forward position. All necessary controls are displayed on the left side of your screen. The page displays compass at the top, current MMS rotation in the top right corner, and current mode in the bottom part of the screen. MMS view comes in 3 modes: TV for television view and 2 thermal modes. Modes can be changed either by pressing button next to current vision mode on MFD or by pressing left Alt button and V. In the upper left corner of the screen, you can see 3 labels. First row represents currently selected laser code, which is basically a frequency at which laser will be emitted from the MMS. Remember that the laser-guided missile or rocket needs to have the same seeker laser code assigned to it to be able to find proper laser target. You can cycle the MMS laser code by pressing the button next to it. In this add-on, Kiowa has 8 pre-programmed laser codes. You can see all of them by accessing Laser Codes page on the Copilot MFD like so. Second line indicates current status of laser emitter. You can fire the laser by pressing the T button on your keyboard. After that, you will see that status of laser code changes. Third line shows current distance to laser target in meters. We will now go over the weapon employment. We'll start with APKWS laser-guided rockets, which I currently have loaded on my left pylon. To activate it, press V on the keyboard. It's the default keybind for cycling weapons in Kiowa. As you can see, the right MFD automatically changes to overlay for rockets. It is similar to VSD page, as it contains flight-related data with rocket site overlay. By default, this view also has MMS camera overlaid on top. You can disable it by pressing VID button on the right side of the screen. In the center of the site, you can see the rectangle with lines on each side. It represents MMS position in relation to helicopter's forward vector. The actual aiming cross is hard to see when using this site. So much easier method is activating the MMS view on the Copilot MFD and using it to acquire a target. When we are happy with the target, we can laze the target and fire the rocket. As mentioned earlier in the Aircraft Manager chapter, APKWS laser code needs to be set before the mission and cannot be changed during flight. As a result, for successful engagement, we have to make sure that our MMS is firing the laser with same code as the one we have assigned to the APKWS. By default, all weapons and MMS are set to 1688 laser code. We can now proceed with engagement. Let's laze the target and fire the rocket. Below the radar altitude, you can see the estimated time to hit the target in seconds, as well as distance to laze target. Keep the laser button pressed until rocket successfully hits the target. Let's switch to AGM-114 Hellfire missiles. Displayed page is similar to what we saw with APKWS, with few major differences. In the center of the screen, you can see the dashed square called Hellfire Constraints Box, which represents angle constraints for missiles seeker. The diamond shape in the middle of it shows current MMS position in relation to aircraft's forward vector. Below these, you can find current missile count with corresponding states. In the bottom left corner of the screen, you can find current delivery mode for the missile. Hellfire can be launched in 3 modes: direct, lock-on before launch, and lock-on after launch. Those modes differ in missile flight path. Hellfire missile, just like APKWS, uses laser for its guidance and requires that the target is painted with laser with correct laser code, but this time this code can be changed during flight. We can do this by clicking top left button on the MFD. It will cycle the laser code that the seeker of Hellfire is looking for. This is especially useful when we have multiple helicopters or other units using laser emitters on the battlefield to actually distinguish the target we want to engage. For this showcase, we want the Hellfire seeker to look for laser with same laser code as our MMS. Let's fire the laser. When the seeker of the missile finds the target with proper code, dashed constraints box becomes solid and Hellfire seeker cross appears on the screen. We can now fire our missile. Just like with APKWS, we can see the laser target distance, as well as estimated time to impact below the radar altitude. Weapon that shares similarities between Hellfire and APKWS is DAGR rocket system. Its launch procedure is exactly the same as Hellfire. We can change laser code for its seeker during flight, but rocket itself has much smaller seeker constraints box, as well as does not allow for different flight paths. Finally, Kiowa also comes with 2 types of unguided weapons: the M260HE rockets, as well as M350 caliber machine gun. We will not go over functionality of them as they are pretty easy to use. Respectable pages on the MFD provide basic sighting information, but for most cases it is better to use reticle on the windshield to actually aim both of those weapons. During flight, pilot can activate ODA, Kiowa's version of helmet-mounted display. Press Shift plus H to toggle visibility of the ODA. It shows duplicated symbology from the VSD, however it can be very useful when pilot tries to navigate with MMS view displayed on his MFD. On the compass we can see our current MMS location, in relation to forward vector of the aircraft as filled triangle. It also shows direction to our next waypoint in form of solid rectangle. One last feature that comes with Kiowa is ANPEC, One Laser Designator. It can be equipped directly from Kiowa inventory or equipment crate. When equipped, it can be activated by pressing default binoculars button. Then press aim button to see through the designator sight. As you can see, the sight is pretty simple, but important part is located at the bottom of the screen. The code label represents frequency at which laser will be emitted from your designator. Currently, it is set to 1688, and all guided weapons that are available on Kiowa by default we'll be able to lock on the target that we lace with this designator. But if we want to change the laser code emitted by this device, we have to exit the aim mode and activate inspection by pressing and holding R button on the keyboard. After that, we can change the code by interacting with the device itself. Notice that you only change the last 3 digits of the code, as the first one is always 1. After changing the code, we can toggle the aim back and designate our target by pressing F key. And that's all. I hope you have fun flying this add-on, and see you in game.
There is another.